So Homeis is a social networking app for immigrants. We operate in 5 different cities right now. That's New York, New Jersey, LA, Chicago, SF, and Bay Area. And soon we're going to launch in other cities as well. What we do is we bring together the Indian immigrants who are looking for information like best immigration lawyers or are looking for jobs, or whether they are hunting for roommates or simply like-minded people to connect with. So we bring them all together. We build a trusted community where you can feel connected and where you can feel at home while you're in a different country altogether.
And Homeis is actually the closest and dearest to my heart project I've ever done on the internet. I have an accent. I'm Israeli. I love Indian accent. I have my own. And we believe that immigration is one of the most important phenomena of our time, and that immigrants have the right to have a product of their own on the internet where they can share their experience, share their culture, enjoy social activities and information around, what being a foreign-born really means. We're Indians, Mexicans, Israelis, French, whatever you name it. Homeis' goal is really to give a digital tool to everybody that is a newcomer or lives here for a long time and have 2 identities, an American and an Indian, an American and an Israeli. We're special in that regard. We have our own needs. We like each other. We want to find each other. We want to fall in love. We want to have matrimonies. Anything else that foreign-born people need, and that's really what Homeis is all about. So I'm really proud to have the event here, and get closer to the Indian community in New York, and we're gonna go all over the U.S. very soon.
Hello everyone, I'm Satwik,
Hi, I'm Nikita.
and we're here at SOSA New York City, Homeis headquarters, for our first CRY networking event. Let's know more about us, by the way. Nikita, what do you know about CRY? How did you get involved? And tell us more about yourself.
So I've actually been a volunteer for a little over a year now. The way I knew CRY is through a friend, Parul. She introduced me to the whole CRY program. And what I've always wanted to do was give something back to community. So I thought doing this was a perfect way to give back to community. Trying to help children, especially in India, knowing the struggles that they face, girls not getting the education, taking care of families, all the kids not being able, going into labor work. So I thought it was very interesting and something that I felt happy about giving into. Thought that I can be a part of something and help the kids out. So that's how I started. And I really enjoy, and I'm hoping to be, help out in many ways as I could, and hoping that when I travel to India, and I could actually visit the different programs and see how we're helping out the kids.
Yeah, I agree. I think this actually makes all the volunteers, which I'm also part of, for Children's Rights and You in America, we have one core aim is to empower children that are unprivileged. We got the opportunity to be here, and of course community outreach is one of the reasons that I'm part of the CRY, and I'm going to make it a tradition as well for family. It started with my father, who was a donor like you guys as well, that have donated tremendously, and we thank you for supporting this non-profit organization. We couldn't be doing this without your support at the end of the day, and the lives that you have changed it's outstanding. And I'm sure if you read the testimonials of this kids that have been thanking everyone for the donation. I think our work is just to spread the awareness, and really want to thank ITV to actually give us that support at the same time. Let's talk about some of our events that are upcoming and today's event. So today's event is the first ever CRY New York City networking event, where we are talking with Indians or immigrants who have made it to the top of the ladder almost, and how community is a big outcome or big support system for them as well. And our next events, Nikita is going to talk about those.
So we have 2 upcoming events after this. We have a cricket actually that will be taking place in New York on August 10th, and then we have another CRY walk on September 22nd in New Jersey. So we're hoping each one of you can actually join us for the upcoming events, and definitely visit our Facebook page, our website, and please follow us and like us on Instagram as well.
And if you really want to also support this group, we would really honor and welcome you volunteer for Cry America. It's not only just New York City. We have volunteer action centers in every state. I started with Detroit, and I'm here in New York City, and it's part of a family at the end of the day. I think everyone supports each other, and we always want to do more. So please help us do more and help us empower kids that are unprivileged. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Patrick Bacco. I'm the fundraising director with Cry America. Thank you, ITV, for attending our event and promoting the work that Cry America does with children.
Hi, my name is Aditi. I'm a physician. I've been working with Cry since I was in India. And I moved here and I heard about Cry New York. And I thought, why not? Let's join it. And I realized that working hands-on in India and actually seeing how to organize events so that we can get funded back home has been an amazing experience on both ends. And I have loved working with Cry since the past 2 years. There are some wonderful people, and I truly urge and recommend everyone to definitely look out for us, join, help us, take part in our events. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of new people and also help.
Hi, I'm Daniela Rilov, and I'm the head of communities here at Homeis. Homeis is a platform for foreign-born communities. We bring together people from the same country, the same language, the same culture, and they live together in the same vicinity, in the same metropolitan. We started with the Israeli community about a year and a half ago. We have about 15,000 users today. We have a very vibrant community that has a lot of offline events. We have, large events like parties for Independence Day for 900 people, and smaller events that we have for local businesses or in different kind of topics and themes. And we're really trying to reach out to as many immigrants, foreign-born communities, and really help them, give them that extra added value that Homeis has within the app and also outside the app. We have 12 communities to date and many more to come. And we're basically really focused and aimed about how we can use our digital product to help increase and the value and the life of local immigrants here in the United States, and to be continued probably in different places all over the world until we conquer the universe.
Hello, I am Parul Juneja, the Action Center leader for the Cry America New York chapter, and I am very, very happy to be here today and introduce this awesome event that is happening. It is called Cry Connect. It is a networking event and panel discussion, and all proceeds from this event will go towards restoring rights for underprivileged children supported by Cry projects. We have a great event planned. We have panel discussions. We have 4 brilliant panelists. We have Sangeeta Mudnal, who is a senior director at Microsoft, Avni Modi, who is the co-founder of Modi Toys, Mr. Jigar Thakur, who is a chief technology officer at MSCI, and Gurpreet Pasricha, who is a managing partner at Pasricha and Patel LLC. We're very happy that they've come together to help us make this evening a success. We also have a great crowd of young professionals, entrepreneurs, some mothers, some students from the community, and we hope they have a great time tonight. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Avni Modi Sarkar. I am the co-founder of Modi Toys. I am one of the panelists here at this event, and I'm so proud to be here to help raise money for Cry. Modi Toys is a children's toy company that's really inspired by South Asian culture, and children are at the heart of everything that we do. So to be here to support Cry, an organization that's really dedicated to children, that means the world to me. So I'm really excited to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm Sangeeta Mudnal. I'm super excited to be here at Cry New York's networking first of its kind event in Manhattan. I've been in Cry, which is Child Rights and Youth, for almost 20 years as a volunteer and as a patron. I started out my Cry volunteer role back in Seattle, and once I moved to New York, I've been both as a volunteer and also participating as one of the panel members. I hope to share some of my insights from my career at Microsoft. I'm a senior director at Microsoft today in the New York research office, and I'm going to share my insights about women in technology, women in leadership positions, how to manage your work-life balance, and in parallel, how do you continue to give back to society and give back to children and support CRY, organizations like CRY, Child Rights and Youth. So I hope you'll find this event very insightful, and continue to support CRY in all of your donations and sponsorships. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Gary Pasricha. I'm an attorney, and I'm very proud to be here as a panelist for the CRY New York Action Center. Today we are going to talk about small businesses and entrepreneurship and what it takes for a business to get off the ground. I've been doing this now for 25 years, helping small businesses from inception to exit. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is what are the challenges that small businesses face, whether it's raising capital, hiring the right people, and then avoiding litigation and other common pitfalls. So I look forward to joining the panel today, and I appreciate CRY New York for everything that they do. Thank you.
Hi, this is Jagar Tucker. I'm in New York City on a beautiful sunny day, and we have a panel discussion with CRY, and I'm pleased to be here. CRY is an organization, Child Rights and You, which is focusing on women and children's issues in India, and I've been associated with CRY for almost 20 years now, and for the last year in New York City, and almost 20 years before that in Seattle. We've been very closely associated with CRY for all these years as a volunteer, as a donor, as a project guide, and so on and so forth, and coming to these kinds of events. Because I truly believe in the cause that CRY is serving, and the organization itself and the volunteers and the key project leaders that I have met with in India are doing a phenomenal job, and domain experts in how to deal with these very core issues that you see in remote villages in India. For example, issues that can be related to poverty or a health condition, or child labor, or child marriages, and so on and so forth. So they invest a lot of time working with the local authorities, creating infrastructure, working with the local people, and helping them out in many different ways in a sustainable, longer-term way. So I have been very impressed with CRY, and hope to see you someday in these kinds of events. And I encourage you to check out their website or their Facebook page, learn more about CRY, and hope to see you get involved in volunteering or other projects.
Well, hello everyone, you're watching ITV Gold, and I'm your host Aditi Lama, and right now I'm joined by the very beautiful Avni from Modi Toys. It's a pleasure and honor to have her. Avni, I have featured Modi Toys so many times on ITV Gold. I've had the pleasure and honor of working with some incredible South Asian bloggers and influencers who've actually gone out of their way and promoted this product. Today, you partner up with CRY America and Homeis, and here at SOSA, New York City, and we talked about an empowering movement for kids, an empowering movement for culture, and so much more. So how does it feel to be here? And Modi Toys, what a concept. How does it feel to see it reach so far, so soon?
It's so surreal. Honestly, when we started Modi Toys in August of last year, it was just 9.5 months ago, we thought that we were really catering to parents-to-be and those who have kids maybe that are like newborn to like 3 years old. We did not anticipate it to touch the lives of the people that it has. I mean, we've seen people as old as like a 94-year-old grandfather who has Alzheimer's, a 56-year-old mom who just underwent chemotherapy, a baby that was born like 7 weeks premature in NICU, and they've all had baby Ganesh by their side, and that's what's been so surreal and really just transformative for us as founders, because this just really further fuels the fire in us and makes us even more passionate to get this inside the homes and hands of even more people around the world.
You know, if I was to ask you a simple question, describe Modi Toys to me and describe this Ganpati. How does it seem different from every other commercial toy that we see here? And, you know, how has it really culturally influenced the life of Indian Americans? How would you comment on that?
I think I would probably turn the question around on you and say, name a toy that has sparked hope inside of you. You know, there isn't, right? I mean, people just have this visceral reaction when they see baby Ganesh. I don't really have to sell it to people. I don't have to talk about the product specifications and anything. You know, people see it, they love it, and when I tell them that actually plays 3 Ganesh mantras, like, they fall in love even more. You know, I say this all the time, that what we're manufacturing in factories are toys, but what people buy from us is not just a toy. They're buying a symbol of hope, they're buying a symbol of faith, they're buying a symbol of our Indian culture, and really a means to stay connected to our Indian roots, and more importantly, for their kids to stay connected to their Indian roots, because you know, kids like my daughter and my niece, who really were the inspiration behind starting Modi Toys, they are growing up in a world that's very different from the world that we grew up in. You know, a lot of us were maybe not born here, but were raised here. Right. And, you know, we were raised by very traditional Indian parents. You know, we grew up eating Indian food. We grew up watching those Indian serials on TV, and we spoke Gujarati, Punjabi, Tamil, whatever have you at home. And now the world has completely changed, right, in a matter of one generation. Just, you know, looking at my household alone, my daughter, even though she has 2 sets of parents, or a set of parents that come from 2 very different cultural backgrounds. I'm Gujarati, my husband's Bengali. She doesn't really speak either of those languages. She speaks English, like, that's her primary language. You know, she doesn't eat Bengali food or Gujarati food. She eats American food. You know, on TV, she'll watch, you know, like, stuff on Disney. Right. So, you know, like, already in a single generation, everything has changed. And I feel like if I can do one little thing, then at least, like, let that be my contribution. And that's really what our hope and mission is really to just bring more diversity and inclusion with the toys that we introduce inside playrooms. You guys keep doing the great work that you're doing. Children are at the heart of everything that we do at Modi Toys, and I know that they're definitely at the heart of everything you guys do. And the one thing that we both have in common is that you are providing hope to the families and the children back in India, and we're hoping to do the same by providing a symbol of hope to the families and children here first, but ultimately all around the world.
Well, we are here at the Cry America amazing event, and right now we're joined by Dan. Thank you so much for being with us on ITV Gold. Amazing to have you here. I think it was so incredible that you got the entire audience laughing, and so much to share. Why sort of choose to sort of, you know, support Cry America and bring sort of the voice and support of comedians to nonprofits?
In all seriousness, I have done a number of events for Cry all over the country, actually, including a couple with Shamila Tagore, and it's a great organization, and I know Shafali and Patrick, and they're just wonderful to work with and work for, and it's a great cause, of course. So it's fantastic, and we had a great audience tonight. They were amazing.
You, Cry works with some of the most underprivileged children. They go to the streets of India. They go and they rescue the ones that may not even be considered for help because no one gets to them. What do you have to say about the kind of work they've done over the years that you've known them, and also the amount of support you've seen around, sort of addressing the fact that perhaps we need to support more for the nonprofits?
Well, that's one thing. I do a lot of these kinds of shows for nonprofits. I enjoy the ones for animal rescue, and then also the ones for children in India and Pakistan. And I've also done a number of domestic violence events. And I think that's my way of giving back. And then I like to, you know, sell the CDs and the DVDs and just donate the whole thing. So I've done a number of charity events all over the country, all over the world. I did one in Sri Lanka a few years ago, in Colombo, which was amazing for children. So I think that's my way of giving back.
Jigar, thank you so much for joining us on ITV Gold. What an incredible event. So much talk about children, so much talk about entrepreneurship, so much talk about success. You know, when an event such as Cry America and Homeis puts up a panel discussion such as this, what do you think it sort of creates as an impact? And do you think that having discussions such as this and having these dialogues are sort of important for us to empower our community?
Yeah, so actually I was thinking about that, and when I saw the event come through and about 60, 70 odd folks come in here, it's very interesting. People from very different backgrounds come in and they have very different questions, and it's interesting how as the panel progressed, people started opening up and asking very different kinds of questions, and you could see the networking happening after the event was over, where it is not just the panelists actually, it's about the people who come to the event are networking with each other as well and learning from each other. And I can assure you, I think I feel like when I was watching the people coming in versus the people leaving, same people, right? The difference was they're coming in a little bit awkward, they're looking around, just trying to get some water or just hanging out by themselves. On the way out, they're discussing a lot of different business ideas, they're exchanging business cards, they're high in energy, excitement, there's a lot more enthusiasm. So I think it brings the community together. It's a good evening for a very, very good cause. So I think it's a pretty positive event.
What are your hopes for Cry? And I'm talking about a 5, 10, and 15-year plan. What are your hopes?
So 5, 10, 15-year plans. I really hope that Cry, I think there's a challenge here to be able to, the last question was the key challenge. How do we convince millions of fairly affluent South Asians, Indians to participate? We were all fortunate to be where we are, and how do we motivate them to come and join the cause? It does require a lot of funds to make a big impact. India has more than 1 billion people with hundreds of millions living below the poverty line, and then millions of children who are still working and they're not going to school. So I think the challenge is going to be, how do we convince those of people with influence? If we look at Bill Gates, why is he going after every billionaire in the country and other countries to influence them to go give? Why is he converting Warren Buffett to go give, right? Because that's where a lot of power is in terms of the monetary funds that are needed. And so that is from a financial perspective. And from the youth perspective, I think the youth of today versus 20 years ago, I think they're much more enlightened, they're more positive, they're more tolerant about different religions and everything, right? So I have a huge hope that the youth will join the cause by becoming the volunteers and actually reaching out. And today the youth is more, when you recruit people, I've recruited thousands of people over the years, right? Do you recruit somebody who is maybe 15 years in the experience in the industry versus somebody who's coming out of college?
Right.
People who are coming out of college, they're looking for a real cause to work for. They're not just asking you how much money will I make or will you sell me free drinks and food or not. They want to know, will I make a difference in the world? You know, in the investment world today, people are talking about ESG, which is environmental, sustainable, and governance, which is more like sustainable investing. The world is waking up that there's global warming, there's all kinds of issues going on that we need to go make an impact to. So I have a lot of aspirations from the youth today. If you look at the volunteers, there's a lot of them are actually spending a ton of time. So in the next 5, 10, 15 years, I hope we just bring in more volunteers, more donors, and then keep on expanding to more and more projects in India. And if I were to extrapolate 100 years out, I hope we don't need CRY in 100 years. We hope that everybody's at a high, and CRY would be doing other projects at that point about focusing on a higher level of need. Today, you are focused on the most basic level of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is security, and you're providing ways to make sure they have food and education and safety.
Sustainability.
Yeah. Sustainability. But
that's the all. Sustainability.
how will the planet remain the way it is 100 years from today, right? So I think there's a long ways to go for CRY. I'm a huge well-wisher and a supporter and a volunteer. And I hope, more and more people, and it's not just, it doesn't have to be CRY. I mean, I think whatever you believe in, if you want to focus on animal rights or you want to focus on women's education or whatever it is, whatever cause you believe in, I'm not saying go for CRY. I'm just saying whatever you believe in, go pursue that, spend some time and money and investment of your own yourself, and you'll get very rich rewards out of it. So I really, if anything, I would like to, for the listeners, to inspire them to go out there and go help somebody.
Well, this was Jigger, and this was Cry America, Homeis, bringing you Cry Connect, a beautiful event that really talked about empowering voices, helping people, giving back. Check out Cry America's website to learn so much about their incredible work, the opportunities, and all the work that their incredible volunteers have done. I'm Aditi Lama with cameraman Kripa, signing off. Stay tuned on to ITV Gold as we bring you so much. Your voices, our people, our community.